Some guys. Hey, welcome to another episode of Motorcycle Rewind. Just a little different than the way we normally do it. We're going to start doing this series, talking to really interesting people. And our first one, Zach Mangus from Moto Mango.
Happy to be here.
This is going to be awesome. I'm so looking forward to this because I know we've talked about this in the past. Motorcycles are cool, but the stories that come with them are way better.
100% agreed.
And the more of that we get to share, the better off it'll be. So that's kind of what this is all about. So it's talking about what you have going on in the shop, what you have plans for the channel, what you just everything.
Yeah.
You're down with that? Let's
do it. I've got one quick question for you. Is there a way to type in the chat or no?
Yeah, I can. And if you, let's see, if you hit the chat thing right up, I think you can see them.
Okay, I think
so.
It's because I'm on my phone.
Yeah, in the top right of mine, you can see you have a little chat icon that you can type in there. But I'm logging into it right now just so I can see the stream, so we can see what's going on.
Okay, sounds good. I probably just won't worry about it for now, but
I'll try to moderate it as best as possible.
Sounds good.
So let's get started. So what was your first motorcycle?
Oh, my first motorcycle. It was, sorry, I'm adjusting my mount there. It was a Suzuki GZ250. So it's kind of like Suzuki's rendition of the Honda Rebel, if you've seen that.
Yeah, that's awesome. How long ago did you have it?
Oh, man. I think I got that in like 2014, 2015. I was 21. So, oh yeah, God, so almost 10 years ago. Yeah, so 2013. What's up, Mike? Thanks for coming, bro. I actually have a crazy story about that. So,
perfect.
So in college, like in my undergrad, I had a moped to get from my house to school. And it worked great. I parked it where the bicycles parked, and so I didn't have to pay for parking. It was like the best deal ever. But my grandpa and my dad both have rode their whole lives, and so once they got wind that I was on a scooter and I was riding a scooter every day, they were like, "All right, fuck that. We're gonna get you your motorcycle endorsement." And so, I don't know, maybe 6 months after riding that scooter, my dad came up and I did the weekend motorcycle endorsement. And then that was when I got that GZ250. And I rode that for 6 months. And then my dad surprised me with I forget how many miles, 2,000 mile road trip. And so I went from a 250 to I think it was 2010 or something, but it's the BMW 1150 RT. It's the bikes that the police cops used to use in the early 2000s. And so it's it sits really tall and it's super top heavy. And so the first day we're going down 101, through the West Coast, like Washington, Oregon, California, etc. And first day I drop it 3 times, coming to a stop. One of them was getting off a freeway and coming to a stop, and I'm just dropping his beautiful BMW bike. But yeah, I went from a 250 to a 1200. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. So what moped was it?
Oh,
was it a pedal start moped?
I don't even remember. It was I bought it online, and it was a Chinese moped that you had to put together, came in a box. Yeah, it was I think I spent $600 new on that thing, but yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so more of a scooter. Yeah, because when we lived in Connecticut, I did pedal start mopeds because you can from the 70s, you can find them everywhere, and so that's why I ended up with a herd of them in the basement at one point. So you never know what you're going to end up with. So it's kind of funny. It's funny. Ironically enough, my first motorcycle was actually a moped, pedal start moped.
Nice.
I'm young, 4 boys. My mother was definitely not into motorcycles.
Yeah.
Something she was like, no, and single mother, and she's like, my brothers ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they couldn't do it. My oldest brother had one, crashed one, and so it was just not a good deal. Just didn't work well for me.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until my kids had graduated from high school and were off into college to where I could actually do. I had time, space, resources, energy, the freedom to be able to do it. So that's when it happened. And it wasn't until, probably 15, 15, 16 years ago, something like that, just finding that. And it was a pedal start moped. Then it evolved. When we
Okay.
moved back south, you couldn't do pedal start mopeds anymore because there's too much space between places.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's
You
too sprawled
know,
out. Yeah.
yeah. And so we needed something that was bigger. So it kind of evolved up from there.
Nice.
So which kind of gets me into kind of another question is what's the what got you into building motorcycles? I mean, you were riding them before or tipping
Yeah.
over on them
Yeah.
before.
Honestly, part of it was that that Chinese scooter because they were like so unreliable that I had to work on it. I had to like fix things. Like something it would like not start and I'd have to figure out why. And so I think that's like truly the origin of it. But in like 2019, my dad helped me build my first like cafe racer.
Mhm.
That in 2019 I had like I still consider myself a novice, but back then especially so when it came to any sort of mechanical work. And so I did the classic, like, took all the fairings off, chopped the rear end, and put on like a $30 Amazon, seat, and was like, "This is a cafe racer, right?" And so that was like my first build that my dad helped me with, and that was kind of what started this whole thing.
Yeah.
But
What bike was that? What'd you start with? What
it
was the first
was
build?
it was a CV 750. It was a Nighthawk from like
Oh, yeah,
2003, and
yeah.
so actually flip this guy around.
Oh,
It
there it is.
was this like exact bike, except obviously not similar bike, not the exact bike, but that was my first bike that got me obsessed with. If I can turn the camera back around.
Yeah,
That was what got me obsessed with Hondas was the Nighthawks. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's awesome. That's crazy. Yeah, it's always kind of interesting to see where I love origin stories, right?
Yeah.
I think they're great to be able to find because you learn a lot about people, kind of where they came from, what their first bike was that they built, what happened, um,
What's up, Mike?
and yeah, Mike's here. It's really awesome when you start to look at that and seeing how that happens. Now, what's your dream motorcycle? If you could have anyone in the world,
Honestly, it'd be the Honda CBX, the 6 cylinders.
yeah,
Have you
yeah,
seen
yeah,
those?
yep,
Those things are freaking crazy. They sound like a Formula race car, and
yeah,
they're super rare. There was one for sale here in Seattle, like immaculate mint
yep,
condition for I think like
yeah,
$28,000, which is insane. But for that bike is actually like not that bad. Like they sell like upwards of 50K.
yeah.
So I was tempted, but also not really because I'm not going to spend 28K on a 40-year-old bike. But I hope one day to find kind of like BJ from Brickhouse Builds.
Right.
He I think still has it. Yeah, he's got a CBX. The engine was like completely like clapped, and he was rebuilding it, or still is rebuilding it. But that's what I would love to do is like find a barn find of it for like ideally less than like $5,000, and then rebuild it and make it like new again, and then have a freaking
When you're done, you're welcome to rip it. So
yeah, dude.
you can borrow it. It looks
I
like you got a
will
free ride on one.
BJ, I literally take you up on that. I will fly out. My partner, she went to school in St. Louis, and so she like has a whole community there. And we've been talking about visiting St. Louis, and I was like, we should go to St. Louis. I know somebody there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see. What was this guy's first bike?
Dave 75 CB 750. That's one of my
Nice.
favorite.
Yeah.
I love that the styling of the middle 70s with the it's like BJ's bike, the black in the middle with the colored tank. I think is awesome. Yeah, BJ should have it done by the time you have great grandkids. So
Oh, I feel bad.
yeah, it'll be crazy. But that's looking at that. I've often thought about this because I made a list of the dream motorcycles. My wish list because at one point in time I thought I had to own them all,
Yeah.
and I'm saying that there's 14 of them in this garage right now,
Yeah.
and I thought I had to own them all, and then I realized, okay, you don't have to own them all. Can you just find a couple of them that you're into? And there's some oddbally things. Nothing that is how do I put this? Nothing that's rare
Hmm.
just because I want to be able to use it. It's
Yeah.
like
Well, what's go
I've
ahead.
got a
What's your
really
top
good.
bike?
Go ahead.
What's your top bike? Like if I asked you that same question, number one dream bike, like right off the top of your head.
So if I had to pick one,
Yeah.
and there's a list of 10 of them, and I have about 6 of them already.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
the one that I want, that you got to catch them all, right? That they just said is, I want a mid '60s Vespa, but not a Vespa. It's a Sears Allstate Vespa. It's called a Cruise Air, and Sears had so much stroke back in the day that they told Vespa that we'll sell your motorcycles, but you got to call them what we want you to call them,
Oh, okay.
and change the badging and everything. And I love that. I love it. It's got a great old Allstate badge on the front of it. Doesn't say Vespa except on the engine and on the plate. And they did the same thing with. I got a better one right here.
You're good. What's
Uh,
up? What's up, Alpine? What's up, Doc Jones? Good to
so
see you guys. Oh yeah,
this
that's gorgeous.
this guy right here is a Sears Sabre 50cc. I bought it from the original owner. Right, that's what it looked
Yeah.
like. The original owner. I paid $100 for it. It ran, but
Dang.
it was made by Pook. The Sears had so much stroke, they said, "Okay, we'll sell it, but you got to change the name." And I love that about it, and I think that that's kind of cool. It's an oddbally bike. When we lived in Connecticut, the motorcycle, the Vespa Cruise Air, had an old guy of our farm road that went on, and he had a 1964 that he got up and he rode it every morning for coffee until the weather got below 30 degrees.
Amazing. Yeah. The
This guy just
commitment.
jumped on it every day and he did it, and it's just kind of a, so ever since then I've kind of been into it. They're not the most comfortable of scooters to ride.
Yeah.
The styling of it is pretty amazing. I'd rather have an Allstate than a Vespa, just because they were told to, and they said yes, we'll do it. It's like Amazon telling that we'll sell your cars, but you got to call it, whatever we want to name it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think that was amazing. So that'd be mine. There's
Good answer. Yeah. I
one
like
that
it.
was really after. It's right back here. It's a Kawasaki W1, 1967 Kawasaki W1 650. After that for a while, and I found one of those, but they're oddbally things, nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
CB750, a Honda Goldwing, early 1975, with no fairings, preferably. Why?
Nice.
Because I think you should have a yellow motorcycle. Um,
You got it. Is it still shaky, by the way? Someone mentioned shakiness.
I think he
Alpine.
said, "What's shaking?" Like,
I think
what's
so.
shaking?
I'm doing a super not legitimate version of coming on this live. I'm just on my phone on like a sketchy tripod, so I'm assuming that was me from touching my phone trying to. Yeah, it's probably me messing with my phone. So I'll stop messing with the phone.
Yeah.
1951
Oh, this.
Sunbeam S7.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
I don't know what. Yeah, I can't picture that off the top
Yeah,
of my head.
I'm gonna have to look it up, but that looks awesome. I
Yeah.
have a friend of mine that runs a prop shop here, movie
Oh,
props.
sorry, Alpine. He was just saying what's up, and I'm just like a
Yeah,
nerd and took that literally. Okay, that makes sense.
that's
What's up, Alpine? Good to see you, bro.
so. He has a prop shop and he provides props for movies.
Hmm.
And he has an old, I can't remember what year it is. It's either 40s or 50s. A DKW, and a DKW is early predecessor to what became Audi.
Oh, okay. Did not know
And
that.
even down the badging has the 4 circles in it, just like an Audi, and it's kind of crazy when you see it, and it's a neat thing. I'm going to help him get it running, just because I want to help him get it
Yeah.
running, because it should run. It'd be an
Oh,
interesting thing just to play around with. So yeah, there's some. I've always wanted 91 Suzuki. You want to go fast, Mike?
dude, the '90s sport bikes are like it's another era. That's it. Like, yeah, fabulous motorcycles. So good.
And those early sport bikes are really coming up in value.
They sell
They're
for
coming.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
You know.
That I know BJ follows them. They're a big auction bike shop, and I'm totally blanking on their name. But yeah, they auction all sorts of motorcycles, and I'm always seeing the early '90s like mint condition sport bikes going for anywhere from like 20K to like yeah, iconic. Like they sell bikes for like 250K. It's
Right.
insane. So
There's a.
yeah, there's some money there apparently.
Yeah, no, I'm not seeing that. There's that's I'm into. I'm a connoisseur of cheap motorcycles,
Yeah.
right? And the cheaper the better. Better Moto Guzzi was $400 with the brand new set of tires. So yeah, I'll take that. I'm not going to spend a lot
I
of
mean,
money on it.
Restore. I have no idea what the market is in your neck of the woods, but Restore, that's got to go like over 5K, right?
It's really tough. Restored. If I were to bring this guy back to original, right?
Yeah.
Back to original, the parts would eat me alive.
Yeah.
Right? The parts, just the gauges. Like I've got some aftermarket gauges on the way. The gauges for it, because it comes with two gauges and then a dash that comes with it and everything.
Yeah.
The one gauge is $200. That's a speedo. Now I
Yeah.
got to do four. Now I'm $400, and now I got to buy the. I've got to
Yeah.
find the piece that mounts it, and then that's going to be. I'm $600 in the gauges that may or may not work,
Yeah. That's tough.
and especially when I'm $400 into the motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's that, and then the reason why we went and built our own seat in the back, because when I got it, it didn't come with a front and rear fender,
Hmm.
and just the parts that I needed to bring it back to original, I'm $1,500 into it,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
and
that's not terrible. Like,
well, I'd rather
yeah.
be see because the way it sits right now,
It looks so good, dude. You've done a really good job.
and I'm about $600 in it, and if I can sell it for 3,500,
Yeah.
because
Okay. So yeah.
I've also found that there's a sweet spot in selling pricing motorcycles that you don't have to deal with a whole bunch of BS.
Yeah.
Anything over 5,000, they're going to nitpick everything.
They do. Yeah. I've also experienced that. Yeah. Uh, yes, that's Moto Guzzi. Yeah. Oh, you're T-painting for a second. That's exciting. That's awesome. Yeah. Mhm. Sorry, can you say that again? I missed it. Hey, what's up, Drift? Honestly, no. Yeah, it was just kind of like went into it blind with no previous experience at all. My first year of like building my first like motorcycle, I had like my dad's garage and all of his tools and his insight. So that was like a huge, not crutch, that's not the word, like a resource. That was a huge resource that kind of got me into it and got me comfortable with it. And then since then, hey, what's up, Keizo? Thanks for coming in, dude. Since then, I've just been like just tackling one thing at a time, and it usually works out. And there's a couple mental breakdowns when I break a bolt in a case or strip a hole in a case or whatever, and we get through it. I've like every like horrible disaster I've had happen, I've become like a better, I guess, like quote unquote mechanic from it. So yeah, just a lot of lessons that you learn that makes you a better builder. And I'm still, again, very on the novice end of the spectrum of builders, but compared to where I was even like 2 years ago, it's like night and day. So I'm seeing progress personally, which is what's so exciting. Yeah. Am I T-painting?
Is everybody having issues, or is it just? Or can you hear me fine?
I can hear you
Are
now.
we
Yeah,
losing
you were
each
kind of
other?
T-painting earlier.
Oh, okay. Who knows what's going on? Maybe because we're getting more people on, and because we're getting more people on, we're getting a little glitchy. Who knows? We'll try to figure it out. Looks like we're clearing up now. All good. I have the screen. Okay.
Yeah, what time is it
So
for you right now, Kazo? Or Kazo? I forget how you say it. He's over in Australia. Oh, okay.
10:17
Good morning.
a.m. Friday.
Yeah, you guys are way ahead. It's still Thursday here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So Eric, you've been kind of cutting in and out. Um, Just as a heads up. Yeah.
Causing it. Let me see if this gets better. See if it gets better. I have my computer open next to us, so let's see how. Yeah, how's the future look, Hezo? That's awesome.
Here, I'm gonna do a quick 10-year-old video of unboxing because I got some. Let's see. Can I figure this out? Maybe. Switch it. Yes.
Yeah.
I just got some new rear sets. And I'm pretty sure these are them, and I'm super excited.
Oh, awesome. Well, let's open them up.
We're going to open these bad boys up. Way too many parts from Amazon, but it is what it is. Oh, yeah, that's it. So this will be my first time doing rear sets and linkage rods, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, I think those things look pretty good.
Oh, that's awesome. So I'll tell you.
I'm getting distracted, but
no, that's awesome. I'll tell you a funny story about rear sets, and then I'll answer Dave's question about my my crazy eye injury that happened. Thanks, Kazo, for that. The so I bought actually traded a guy. So my Honda Dream that I have that's sitting right behind me. An old guy wanted. I told this story in the Dream video. A friend of mine, we used to trade motorcycles back and forth, and he had an RD 250, Yamaha RD 250.
Okay. Yeah, those are sweet.
2-stroke.
Yeah.
Too fast, and I got it from him. And he goes, "I think it needs to be rebuilt. I think it doesn't have the right compression. Right? The compression's low. I think it needs to be rebuilt. No problem." It sat in the corner of the shop. COVID hit. I said, "Okay, we're stuck at home. Let's go ahead and build this bike. Let's build it. Yeah. Let's make it happen." So we built it, and as I bring it outside to pressure wash it, and I'd start it up every now and then, it'd run great. You'd put it in gear, and it'd fall on its face, and it had rear sets on it. And this RD 250 has a 6-speed transmission. Well, what I realized is the shifters were backwards because it was on the rear set. Okay. So when he thought he was putting in first, he was putting in sixth.
Oh, so my God.
It would idle perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I think we're losing you, Eric. Oh, he's back. Okay. You're T-paining a little bit.
Oh, maybe it'll come back.
You're back. You're back here.
I don't know why. I don't know why we pay for high-speed internet. So it after that, it was just perfect. It was just the rear sets were backwards. He had never figured it out, and it's always awesome when you find something like that. It makes such a difference. The
much better than a full rebuild. Yeah.
Oh, come on, didn't have to do anything.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's another like future build I want to do. The RD 400s. Those things are like wicked fast. It's 2-stroke, so it just sounds awesome, and yeah, they just look like awesome bikes.
So, Dave, I'll share it now. Am I still breaking up? Is it good?
No, you're good. You're good.
So I'll share why my eye thing that I ended up with. I was repairing rust on the old truck that I have, 1978 Ford F-150, right? I mean, yeah, Ford F-150. Use it to haul motorcycles around, and I was been repairing rust the whole day and had a welding helmet most of the day, and it always happens just most of the day. I was doing a little bit of above the drip rail. Had one little piece I had to weld in. I had to take a little bit off the top, and it kicked back and it hit me right in the face. It caught me twice in the face. It caught me right here in the shoulder and down a little bit more. And I just picked up a dirty rag on the ground. I could still see, which was awesome. And it came straight across my face right here, which you can see a little scar right here, but there's very little. Zero eye damage. It's kind of a funny story because zero pain. But my wife had been outside in the garden just kind of working around, and I called for her first. She doesn't do very well with blood, so I picked up a rag and I ran inside, and I needed to go check to make sure I could still see that my eyeball wasn't hanging out. Yeah. And so she happened to be in the kitchen as I come in, and I'm here like this. I go in, I said, "I think we need to go to the emergency room," and I walk into the bathroom, and I shut the door. And so because she would have lost her mind, no, it didn't. It kicked back and got me. And so we in the hospital. The guy does surgery in the middle of the night. Worked out great.
Yeah,
but my son.
That's crazy.
my son came over because we were babysitting his child, our grandson, our oldest grandson, and we were babysitting him in the middle of all this stuff, and he come over to clean everything out, and he goes, "Did you have to touch everything?" Right? Door handles, knobs, there
Just
was blood
left it
everywhere.
everywhere.
It was like
Yeah.
a scene from Dexter, and
Yeah.
so now it's goggles, everything else,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always that. And I'd been outside doing this for 10 hours. I
Yeah.
mean, from early morning to, and it was the last little bit I had to do, and it kicked back and got me right when you don't think it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just kind of one of those crazy things that happens. So
That
I
is
want
how
to
it
go.
goes.
I know
Yeah.
we had talked about we may be a little over time, but I'm having a good time. If you're good, we got just a few more minutes. I don't want to
Yeah,
take too much time.
I allocated an hour, so I'm good. I also want to
Oh,
just read the
perfect.
chat. What's up, Eric? Thanks for coming in, dude. Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
yeah. And
Any
so,
any BMW R18 I see, I always think of Eric. He's got one, and there's some really cool custom builds on those.
yeah, I love them. I love them. Yeah, didn't lose. Oh, the last thing I'll say about this motorcycle injury, this not
Yeah,
motorcycle, this
yeah,
grinder injury. So we have 4 children. So our 2 boys, it's girl boy, and our 2 boys were always in sports. And so every year they'd have to go get a physical, right? If you ever played sports, you had to go get a physical every year. And our youngest son, super analytical, super logical, and the little small town doctor we went to, where the waiting room was, the where you stood to read the eye chart was right next to them. So he
yeah,
just memorized the eye chart, and it became a joke.
yeah. Oh, okay, back. Yeah, that is a little back. Yeah, you're T-painting a little bit. I think I got most of that. Um, but yeah, that is kind of funny that they want to change it because yeah, you could very easily memorize it and yeah. What's that? Oh, you're back. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, how'd you get started on YouTube?
Oh, okay, okay. It how did I get started? I honestly it was I was trying to wire a speedometer and I it was again this was back when I like knew absolutely nothing and it was such a pain. It was like the cheap Chinese speedometer off of either eBay or Amazon, I forget. It didn't come with a wiring diagram and my dad like helped me decipher it and we got it all figured out and I was like this was terrible to figure out. I should post this on YouTube to help other people out. And I had already started like once I started building the motorcycle, I was going to YouTube for tutorials and stuff and I think Cafe Racer Garage, Dan from Australia was the first
Mhm.
guy I ever started watching, and I still watch him. Like he makes awesome content. He's a really good builder. But yeah, I was watching his stuff, and I was like, I should post this. Like this could help people. And so I posted a video about that speedometer, and that's like my best performing video by far. It's got like 100K views, and the rest of my videos get like under a K. But so yeah, it's I think been a helpful tutorial for people because of that of those views. So yeah, I think just this platform to like help other builders figure shit out is so great. And so I just
Yeah,
wanted to contribute to that, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. It's that's what thing you want
Yeah.
now. If you just have the ability to search,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? That's what I think. We sewed that seat cover for the Moto Guzzi. My wife and I, we had to watch 2 separate videos on how to thread the bobbin,
Yeah.
right? Because we only use this damn sewing machine once a year, every other year, something like that. And it goes back in the and
Right.
she didn't. We don't remember how to do it, and
Yeah.
yeah, we got to watch it and figure out what
Refresh.
we're
Yeah.
doing. Yeah,
I think that's
but
super awesome that you guys do your own upholstery. I'm throwing in the towel for my current build. I did the like a custom seat pan with fiberglass and like shaped the foam. And that part's like not horrible, but the upholstery part, I'm just like, there's no way I can make this look good, so I'm just gonna. I found a guy in my area that does it for a decent price, and so I'm throwing in the towel. I'm just gonna have them do it.
Yeah, as long as you can, as long as if you find a guy that you can do it. Yeah, it was just kind of dumb luck that the first one we did, we borrowed a sewing machine from somebody,
Yeah,
and we're like, hey, do you think you can do this? And it was so funny. We did it with the video. The video is from this company called Sailrite, Sailrite,
hmm,
and their YouTube videos, how to make a motorcycle seat cover, right? And they take you step by step through the whole thing. When we did the first one, we watch it, we would pause the video and then do that. Maybe rewind it, watch it again, then do that. That's all we did. It was a simple one. It was for the Yamaha XS 650 that I actually traded for my truck,
those are
and
cool bikes.
it was a great, easy thing to do, and we did that, and it worked out great. Um, Pleated everything. We got really lucky in doing it.
That's super.
And
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, the seat that you did, because you're gonna have another video coming out, right? Of
mm,
finishing it. Okay,
yeah,
yeah, because yeah, it looks super good. I was impressed. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I didn't. The tack strips hadn't come in for to attach the material to the seat pan, so that's
Yeah.
why I didn't do it. I posted it on Instagram. I posted a link to I mean a picture of it on Instagram, it being pulled together. And that's the worst thing, because that's like wrestling that's like
Yeah. Eric, you're T-painting again. Oh, you're back. Okay.
I'm loving it. I'm trying it. Me.
Doc asked what year your 650 was.
So it was a 19. Here, I'll show you.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It's a 1978, but it's got a 75 tank and tins.
Nice.
And we put a hoop on the back. We shortened the rear fender.
That's the exact one that you built?
Uh huh. That's
That's
it.
awesome. That's cool.
I paid $50 for this motorcycle delivered,
Oh my gosh. Speaking of,
and I
I've
probably
actually
could have
got
got it cheaper.
here. I got another bike recently that I don't know if everyone's seen, but I got a. I'll just take my phone off the tripod. I just picked up this guy, Suzuki GS. I'm finally moving away from Honda,
Awesome.
if you guys can believe it. I've like only ever worked on Hondas, and decided I should mix it up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a
You
ways
know,
away, but we'll get there. We'll get to building that.
so BJ, I have one of the bikes on my bucket list was 1972 Yamaha XS2. First electric start 650 XS 650. Only came in one color, came in red and white. If you liked it, that's great. If you didn't, you'd have to buy a different year. And it's in the other side of the garage, right? It's perfect. It's a ride anywhere, and it's kind of awesome. You know, I love the early 650s. Ideally, I would love to, that XS2. One of the coolest things about it is it was the first year for the electric start. They didn't give you a button. They have a decomp lever, so decompression lever that takes
Yeah.
the compression out of the left cylinder. And once you pull it fully, it activates the switch, kind of like a brake switch. So it's like an anti-theft device. You can't find the button to start it, and you can kick it if you want. It's just not so much fun.
I remember trying to kick a dirt bike with a compression lever, and it was super annoying. Drift asks, "How do you guys know each other?" We just met online. I think I found Eric through Mike, who's another builder, online builder, and Eric reached
Yep.
out, and we talked for. We did like just a one-on-one chat for a while, and yeah, hit it off. Eric's a cool dude, and so here we are holding this YouTube live thing. Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by, Drift. That's awesome, bro. Don't show posse. I don't know what that means. Yeah, the tachometer is getting sticky. If it's a
Let's see.
if
I have a
it's like a
tack on a
mechan is
vintage
it
Triumph that won't go over.
wire? What year do you it depends on what year that bike is, but if it's like the mechanical drive, yeah, it's probably just that the whatever that like driving spindle is, it can like get bound up and get sticky. And so I would take your tachometer cable out and like lube it up. Oh, yeah, so it's definitely yeah, it's okay. Yeah, take the cable off the wherever it connects to your engine and just clean the little I don't know what it's called, but the little thing that rotates. And hopefully that'll fix it because I'm assuming that's what's happened. That little driving gear thing in the cable is getting stuck. Also, I'm like probably the least knowledgeable person in this group, so someone else can chime in too. But that'd be my first guess, Dave. I would try that. Thank you, Drift. I appreciate that, dude. Yeah. All your music shit is super dope as well. Yeah, no problem. I hope that helps. That's I would say very likely that's all it is. Yeah. Are you looking it up right now, Eric? Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing I found too, Dave, is like you type some weirdly specific question into Google, you find some like 20-year-old thread on like Reddit or some other forum, and like someone has that exact same problem and it either gets solved or it doesn't get solved, which is heartbreaking. But yeah, it's possibly in the deep archives of Google. I think you might be frozen again, Eric.
Nice to see.
See you later, Mike.
You know, these guys have to run. So, exact shoot I'm having, then no resolution. Yeah, looking for the same solution apparently for the tack. So,
Damn.
yeah, do you have anything you need to share with folks or want to share with folks before we kind of head?
Not really. I mean, thank you guys all for coming. I super appreciate it. I've been fairly MIA on the like online YouTube community, so I feel kind of bad because I really like everyone I've reached out to and like follow. I think they make cool content and they seem like awesome people. But I've been kind of ghosting everyone. I feel bad about that. Life's just been crazy hectic, but it's slowly calming back down now that I'm in my new place and things are getting furnished and yeah, so I'll be back around, you guys. Appreciate you all for coming.
This was awesome. Thanks for this. This has been loads of fun, and I look forward to it. We're gonna do these as we're gonna keep doing these on both YouTube and Instagram. We're gonna do both of them, just because they're. I think there's some great uh, builders that are.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
They don't do YouTube. I want to talk to those guys too. Do it in both platforms,
yeah.
and it'll be fun.
Great idea.
One Instagram is going to be from Brickhouse Builds is going to be with us on Wednesday night, next
Heck yeah,
Wednesday.
I'll be there. This
Yeah,
next Wednesday. Okay,
yeah,
or this coming Wednesday. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
So it'll be. We'll let you guys know what time it is, and we'll go from there. So we're just going to keep doing these and just have a. I told you before when we talked, it's about building that community of people that we and it's I believe that you learn more about people in normal conversations than you do in edited videos.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so I want to thank you for this. And yeah, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to Moto Mango, go over there and hit that, smash that, and help him out. It'd be awesome. Follow him on Instagram and use his promo code for Shine Armor.
Yeah.
Right? He made a great
Yeah.
video. Use that
Yeah.
promo code. Help him out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thanks again, guys, and have a great day.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.